Okay, Assalamu alaikum. I want to talk about Eid while it's still fresh. Okay, and firstly, a big thank you to everybody that left me an Eid Mubarak message or a happy Eid message or something like that. If I didn't get back to you or answer you, apologies. I did read them, I do appreciate them, and they wasn't forgotten. Um, so thank you. The second thing is there's a poem, a rap, I suppose it's both, a rap or a poem going around at the minute by a revert brother and it's powerful. It's it's a powerful it's a powerful message actually because he's talking about reverts being lonely at Eid, being on their own in the religion, and obviously Christmas is another lonely and time for them, and New Year's and everything else. This is true. This is a real thing. I mean, this isn't this. I've spoke about this before. For me, there is no Eid really. Christmas and New Year's. To be honest, I just want to get them all out of the way. I just want done with all of them, and but we have to consider that we are not the reverts are not the only people that get lonely. I think we should consider that there is people out there that are born into Muslim families, traditional Muslim families, and I don't know, for whatever reason, it could be family feuds and arguments and breakups. It could be divorces. It could be death in the families that have split people up and everything and arguing about stuff. But for whatever, anyway, for whatever reason, these people are on their own at Eid as well, and they're lonely. We can't just think it's reverts all the time. There's other people that are lonely, and if one of us is feeling it, we're all feeling it. Okay, we got to consider these people too. Which brings me on to another point. What to do about it? Well, being married is 50% of our Islam, as we know. It's a big thing for us. And, it's not easy for some people to get married. It's not easy for reverts to get married. It's not easy for some sisters that have been divorced, or the families are not talking to them anymore, or for whatever reason, the community is sort of put them on the outside a little bit. It's not easy for these people to get married. And they end up having to, because they have no choice, looking on, I don't know, YouTube, TikTok, or whatever, excuse me, whatever marriage apps there are out there for Muslims, and they're a minefield. I mean, they really are. You might be lucky and get someone decent, but I mean, they're a minefield. So that brings me on to another point. If you do have a daughter or a son or a family member that wants to marry a revert, or someone that's already been divorced, don't just not marry your daughter to someone because they're black, or because they're not from the same ethnic group as you, they're not from the same origin of country as you. Don't be that person. Don't do that. Give people a chance. If she's been divorced, it doesn't mean she's a write-off. If they're a revert, it doesn't mean, and they're not from your your ethnic origin, it doesn't mean they're not good people. I'm not saying don't do your due diligence. I'm not saying, personally, if it's a revert, I would, wherever they're from, I would say they need to be a Muslim for 2 or maybe even 3 years before they're eligible or ready for a marriage. Maybe they have to just settle into the religion and get themselves settled down and get themselves straight. Then, that's just my opinion. It's not a fatwa. It's not a rule. Okay. But we've got to stop thinking of ourselves firstly as, I don't know, Arab or Pakistani or Somali or African or European. We've got to think of ourselves firstly as Muslim. Alhamdulillah. And then we think of ourselves as whatever we are after that. So we've got to give each other a chance. I think that's a big thing. And I've seen it happen a lot. So, I mean, me, I don't care. I don't care what colour you are, mate. I don't care if you're black, white, brown or yellow. I argue with everyone, so don't worry about that. I'm not prejudiced who I argue with. I'm not prejudiced who I marry. If Allah ever blessed me with loads of money, I'd have 4 wives, and one would be black, one would be white, one would be brown, and one would be yellow. And it's a good thing that Allah stopped it at 4, because I'd carry on. If there was any other shades, I'd have them as well. Alhamdulillah, we've got to break away from this, people. We do have a problem with lonely people at Eid, but I think getting married is going to be a big help for those people, inshallah. Anyway, just my little, I've got a few rants I'm going to have a ranty month, I think. So anyway, people, stay blessed and peace.